would you actually put Miss Mahalia in a versus, a gospel takedown battle? We have gotten different interviews in different spaces, but this one is so special because this is my show, sis.
This one is your show, and damn right it should be. And I cannot wait. I was watching your stuff yesterday, which episode 15 is like my favorite. When you called
Come on, numbers.
That one is everything. You need to do like that, like every month. You need to do an ancestry calling because that one had me dead.
There are more ancestor episodes loading.
Okay, good. That one was so good.
The children got us worried.
It's crazy because, you know, it's so exciting. Like, I mean, a lot of people have been going through a lot during the pandemic, and I was just sharing this on Trevor Noah, like how it sucks when you, like, and I shouldn't even say it sucks, but when you are, the blessing of it is when you're able to find the blessing in something that is so devastating. Mm-hmm. And for you to do this show, your show, created, I just cannot wait to see where it goes. Like, that's what excites me the most. Is I was just having like this daydream yesterday watching your material. I was like, yo, this girl about to have her own show on this network. I already know it's about to happen. Like, it's going to happen.
Come on, Danielle.
And it's not going to be your coin. It's going to be somebody else's coin.
Come on, coin.
In your pocket.
Amen. Y'all touch and agree.
Oh, I'm so serious. It's going to happen. Because it only makes sense, you know, and you putting in the work for, you know, for it as well. Like faith without works is dead. So I tell you one thing, this is very alive. And I'm here for the Danielle Young Show.
Yes. Thank you, Danielle. Oh, man. You know, that just means so much to me because your girl, she out here working and it's working. So
it is working.
Thank you. That's
sis.
Thank you. I'm bashful. I'm like, I'm learning how to take compliments also.
Yeah. I think I just figured it out. I'm starting to feel
I'll be like
yeah, it's okay. I was just saying that to somebody too. It was like, I want to live the rest of my life where I still walk with humility, but I know my power and I know my worth and I know what is inside me without guilt, without feeling like I got to make myself smaller to make someone else feel better. Like, why do we do that? Why do we take
I don't know.
You're great or you're amazing or like I can't wait for yes, thank you. Like what? Like
right?
What's wrong with living in that space? Why do we do that? I don't have an answer.
It is an interesting thing because I think so many of us, especially Black women, are, you know, raised up and taught not too loud, keep it together, just be proper. And it's like all of that, whatever that is, like instilled in us, however that's instilled in us, I think it stays. And you just, and if you start to feel yourself shining in whatever spaces, sometimes that you just don't want to even like receive the glory or something. It's just like, no, because that'll make it too much about me.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either, but I really hope that we don't pass it to the next generation. Like, I feel like I don't want, and my fiance has been so great at that. When I was pregnant with Freya and things would happen in my life, he kept saying, like, what would you tell your future daughter? What would you tell her? And I think that's what I'm trying to walk in now, especially that it's so concrete that she is here. Like, I have to walk the walk that I want her to do, what I want her to be. And so that's been helping me to like not just say, oh yeah, this would be a good idea, I would want to act like this, I would rather be like this, but like actually doing it.
I
don't want her to walk around like that.
Yeah, you have to be what you need. A lot of the times I don't think, it's something that I've learned as I've grown. It's like whether or not like you're like, oh, this friend, right? I'm waiting on that person to call me. I'm waiting on my dad to call me, or I'm waiting on, it's like, no, you could be it. You can be the stuff that fills up that space. You can say, you know what, I'm gonna call you. I'm going to reach out. I'm gonna be the one that does this. I'm gonna be the one that tells my daughter, but I'm also telling me,
right,
you are so beautiful, and I mean it. And not, it's like, not that people don't do that, but I think that if it becomes more normalized, or the buzzword, if it becomes more normalized, and I think that it would be a lot more acceptable for a Black girl to feel like she can accept, like, oh yeah, just like is shining girl.
That's really a topic that needs to be dissected for real.
It does. Because I can take it in the comment section. I could be like, oh, so nice. But then in person, I'm like,
nah, girl, let people know your life, honey.
I'm just working. It's like, nah, girl, you know how hard you're working. Stop playing.
Seriously. Seriously.
Yeah, even my trainer, we literally had the conversation this morning. I work out with a trainer because I have to. I need somebody to tell me what to do, and then I need to pay them and know that it's happening this way.
That's right.
It's something I need to
accountability in a
right. But he was even saying that because he's known me for years. Like, we've worked out for years together, and he's like, you don't trust yourself when I tell you to do something. I know you can do it. And then you like hesitate, or then I start asking questions, and then it's like he's like, you sell yourself short so much. And I watch you do that literally in your workouts, knowing you can do the thing, but you tell yourself you can't do the thing.
Danielle, why are you trying to preach up in here? Like, because you know that is a reflection of how we take everything into our,
how you do a thing is how you do everything.
It just is. And I think it does, like, the working out self-care thing really shows you how you are in other aspects of your life. It just does.
It makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, I'm learning that right now too.
So I'm like trying to trust my body, trust my abilities, and then also give myself a chance. Like, girl, put your leg out
there. Prove it to yourself. Give yourself a chance to prove it to yourself.
Put your leg up and then lift your butt in the air and then say, before you do that,
squat.
Girl, try to. And the way that I was even squatting, I was like, imagine if I had spent my whole morning telling myself about how much I can't. Because that's also basically telling myself how much I don't deserve.
Right.
And that's just not true.
That is not true.
I'm not going to let that be true.
You can't let it be true, man. You can't, because that's the exciting thing that I'm discovering is like, it's when you get on the other side of that thing and you've actually proven to yourself what you're capable of, the barriers that become broken, the cycles that, like, I think of that song by Jonathan McReynolds, cycles, I'm not going in cycles. And how many cycles you can break once you just let that stuff go. And what victories come after that.
Girl, what? Where is the tithes and offerings to this church?
They need to start that on
the bucket
tithes and offerings on here, right?
Yes. You know that it's all of it is worth breaking.
Yeah.
And it's not a discredit to your childhood, how you were raised, or any of those things. It's just that we deserve, because the people that raised us were, and if we were blessed enough to be raised by loving people, were just raising us to the best of their abilities. They were not given an actual handbook that said this is how to do it. So they did it based on maybe reacting to their parents or wanting to change or be different, or I'm gonna be this type of parent. That is still not a correct way. So like the way that we were raised, however great it was, it's still not a correct way of anything. And we deserve to be able to, as human beings, discover our lives, discover ourselves, discover like the just being able to push past what we think we can have. Thank you. Danielle Brooks, for coming in here to talk to us today.
You know you
Everybody
feel
that
like family. You know you like a little like a sister or something.
I know, y'all. Me and Danielle, I've watched Danielle years on years on years, and it's been a mutual thing. But when we discovered, like it was maybe 3-4 years ago, we discovered we not only have the same name, but we have the same birthday.
It's Kismet.
What? So technically, we're twins.
Yeah,
But I was like, how is this possible?
Right.
But I love you, and I'm just so glad that we've actually been able to do this. So I'm gonna do what I do with everybody, which I normally ask them to tell me, besides just your name, who you are in this world, and what is one thing that you love most about that.
Ooh. Who am I in this world? I am a servant. I feel like that if it's one word that I'm meant to give today, I would say a servant. And I think that's what I've been called to do as an artist, as a mother, as a daughter, soon to be wife, even to myself, to little Black girls. I feel like I'm put on this earth for a purpose, and that's to give of myself. And I think what comes of that is knocking down fears, because sometimes being of service can be scary. The things that you're asked to do, the things that you have to overcome to help somebody else overcome, the places you have to go, or the things that you have to share about yourself can be difficult. And so, yeah, I feel like that's what servantry has done for me, is getting me out of my own comfort zones, out of my own way, because I do feel like this life that I've been given is greater than myself. And so, yeah, that's what I would say today.
Yeah, that's good, sir. So you better serve. You can always tell when somebody is a servant with what they have, their gifts, and I feel that for you. I feel that with you, how you give us what you have. And I think that, like, well, before we go on, what is it that you love about those facets of Danielle?
Is that I get to stretch myself. I get to surprise myself. I get to get out of my own way. I get to plant seeds and see the benefit of them growing. I get to, and especially see that it translated in my daughter, you know what I mean? Or even my mother. I think that's of mother-daughter relationships, is like you teach each other, like I get to see the growth within my own mom, and vice versa. So, yeah, I think as I reflect in a lot of my time right now with Mahalia, I've realized, like, the only way that I was able to play her was by the vulnerability of giving of myself, saying, like, I'm uncomfortable right now, but this ain't about me.
Right.
So I just got, I gotta let it go, you know what I mean? And through that, so many, like I think of these sprinkles just falling down, like so much like confetti comes on me because of that, what they say, like you give, receive, that yin and yang together.
Well, I mean, let's get into Mahalia, Danielle.
Okay.
What? I was so excited to see you step into those shoes. That voice, that life, that girl, what? What? Like, how do you say yes to that and then confidently step into such a legendary woman?
I just feel like some things are just God sent, God led, and this one definitely was that. There was just too many comparisons between us. When I first saw Miss Mahalia on a poster at my church, and seeing myself reflected in this dark chocolate woman, and wondering who is this queen of gospel, and then to later do Color Purple, which I see some of my Color Purple family on here, doing Color Purple, and then having Jennifer Hudson and Jennifer Holliday say, like, you sound like Mahalia, maybe you should play her. And that's when the bug got dropped. I was like, maybe I should. So that was in 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And
I mean, to have them two vocals.
I know. I know. And but that's the crazy thing too, because I talked to Jennifer the other day, which was so good to hear her feedback. She was happy, she loved the movie, and that meant the world. But it's crazy because we had talked a few months ago, and I was sharing that story. She was like, girl, I don't even remember. And I was like, it's okay, because sometimes God just makes people.
You was a whole vessel.
You the vessel. That's all you the vessel. You the vessel.
You was a whole vessel.
He used you that day. And that's what I needed. And here we are in 2021, having gotten to play her and step in her shoes, and it be so anointed, as our director, Kenny Keon, has said several times. It truly was anointed, how everything came together. There's so many stories I could tell you that some will stay in a vault for a very long time. But we made it. We made it. And I feel like I made the right decision with whom I told this story with. And yeah, like to get to share it with Kenny, who I have so much respect for. And he's truly is a great director, because he trusts the people that he puts in place. And it's like best idea wins, but then to also be shooting this in Vancouver, where of course I selfishly want as many African-American actors on this as I can have.
Right.
Still get to do this with Jakina Calicango and Olivia Washington and Jason and Rob Demery, and like that meant the world, because at least the core I felt safe. Like these were my friends that I get to share this story with. So it just felt like a God thing.
It sure did feel like a God thing. If anybody know anything about church, especially the Black church, you know what catching the spirit is. You know what that feels like. You've seen what it looks like. You have been in tears as your mama catches the spirit. You be like, Mama,
that's right. That's right.
Mama, you okay, Mama? That's right. And then 10 years later, you catch the spirit. We've been there. So I want to know, because you're playing this gospel, this powerhouse, this vessel of God, who has been able to be, a way of God's miracles to work, and for people to be moved, and you're catching the spirit. So how do you play that as you are? Right. That's why I was like, how are you?
I think that's why it's very, there's certain people like her, like you everybody can't play Mahalia Jackson. You just can't, because you can't play at faith. You can't teach that.
Faith.
You can't play faith. You can't play belief.
Not the way it shows up in Black people.
Yes.
But you can't. We different.
But I tell you, Danielle, that was what it makes me emotional, because it was such a gift, because it's been a minute where I've made the time to thank God. And that was a moment where I got to say, thank you, God, for 23 days straight, through all of those songs, through How I Got Over, through Didn't It Rain, to Precious Lord, want to thank you this morning. You said touch in my name. Getting to say that just thank you. I got to thank you. Like, I just had not had a moment to thank God like how I properly should. So I'm so grateful that I got that moment, because I didn't have to play at nothing. Carnegie Hall, I had to play at that. And then also to take this story and have so many moments like where Mahalia has this self-doubt of singing at Carnegie Hall. That was a real thing for her. And I went through that with Color Purple. I had a lot of anxiety and fear during that, and had to go to counseling and all of this stuff in the middle of the show. Like right after I got Tony nominated, I had a breakdown. I was like, I don't know, Lord. I'm they're gonna find out I'm great.
After, girl, okay.
Oh yeah, it went.
She done
there.
been in the show, got an award nominated for the part, and still felt like,
yeah, and still felt inadequate. And so I've been in a lot of the places that Miss Mahalia has had to go through, and like I feel like it was just that's why theater, TV, it be so therapeutic too. You know what I mean? That's why it has to be like, you have to choose your projects wisely, what you decide to bring into your sphere, because it can affect your being. And so I'm really grateful that I got to step into her shoes.
Yeah, and you did. I mean, the moments where you were like singing
No.
with your throat just the throat, Danielle, like what? And you mentioned the Carnegie Hall moment. That's actually the moment that I shared with you, because I was like, I had to go back and watch this again. The way you sound, the way you felt. What did that even feel like? Because you're still Danielle as Mahalia, but you're in Carnegie Hall. This audience is there. Your voice is to the roof. What did that feel like?
I feel like that was the moment that solidified for me, you are walking in your purpose. That moment. We shot that like 2 weeks in production. And, you know, there's moments like Kenny would always say, Danielle, is 80% you, 20% God, because I'm so much of a perfectionist, and I want, especially when you are playing the queen of gospel music, you know, you want to make sure that you giving it. And he just reminded me, like, it ain't all you, boo. like where's God in this?
Remember the source.
Remember the source. And so that was the moment it clicked for me, in that moment of getting to thank God and getting to do this with my best friend, Jakina Kalakango, who I'm her child's godparent, and vice versa. Like, we was the only 2 Black girls in our class at Juilliard together. So to get to, yes.
You couldn't write that better yourself.
Okay. So to get to share that moment with her, it was like, woo-wee. But yeah,
I love that.
We spent time in Atlanta before shooting. I spent about a week in Atlanta working on the music, and we just pre-recorded it just in case. But everything that we did was live. At least 90% of it was me singing it live in that moment. The other was just pre-recorded, but it was still me singing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we spent that time, and I remember telling Kenny, our director, I said, Kenny, because he was about in tears, Danielle. He was like, oh my God, this is amazing. The music director, brilliant, Matt Head, this is great. I said, call your mama. Now, Kenny's mama is around like 80 something, somewhere in there. Right? So I know he knows my head. Right? I said, call your mama. He didn't tell her that I was on the phone. And she says, I don't know. It ain't got enough gut. It ain't got enough spirit. I said, see, we got more work to do. And we went right back in there. And we got it till we got it right.
You needed a well-seasoned old Baptist Pentecostal ear.
That's what I needed. Thank God for Kenny Mama getting us.
Man, I love that.
I already knew. I was like, this ain't it. Come on, y'all. We gotta go back.
He said, no, my God needs it here. You will have to get some more gut into that. Come on, please.
And he ended up calling her and letting her, you know, she finally saw the film, and she was in tears, and she was like, y'all got it. You did it. You did. She's very proud. So
you girl, because that's why I was asking you about catching the spirit, because It took me back to church, and you know how like we never had an end time on any of our, whether it was Sunday service or the revival nights, because when the Spirit comes in, ain't nobody's pastor nowhere gonna cut it.
That's right.
So I was just like, at one point where y'all were in the tent, and I was like, I know that there has to be some smooth 12 hours of tape of Danielle leading praise and worship.
Girl. The one thing is, I said we do need somebody running around though, because like you got to have that one person that's running around.
You got to have the praise and worship in all fullness. That's why I was like, is it just put the camera on? We gonna have real church?
We did, but yo, it was like that scene where it was raining so hard. It was like thunderstorming, muddy. We literally was in the woods somewhere, just like in a mud pit. It was hard. It was hard.
Yeah, it gave what it needed to give.
Okay, good.
It took us back to revival. It did.
Good.
It really did. I want to know about you growing up singing. Okay. Because I know we got some professional Juilliard up in here.
Yeah.
But did you grow up like singing in church, or did you learn about your voice somehow?
Yes, so I grew up singing in church, and it's funny because we ended up the day before it premiered Saturday. I did a drive-in screening at my home church in South Carolina, and I got to let them see the movie, and it really was a moment for me to thank them, because I would not have been here without them, acting or singing, period.
Yeah.
Like my first play was in church. My first solo was in church.
Come on, church.
Yeah, and it was a guy named Dean Redmond who I'm calling him today. I got his mom. I got my mama to give me his number. I'm calling him today. And I want to thank him because he gave me my first solo at 6 years old, and I sang "I Won't Complain." What does a 6-year-old know about complaining?
Oh my girl, that is a trials and tribulations song.
Yeah, Dean Redmond gave my first solo. I've always actually been nervous singer.
Really?
Yes, I've always been a shy singer because I just had high expectations for myself, and I know some church members, they be singing you under the table. You know what I'm saying? And so I've always kind of like been like that. I can't sing like that, you know. So I've had my ups and downs with it, and I think that's why I had such a tough time with Color Purple, was because the world was telling me, Danielle, you can sing, girl.
No, you can
and
sing.
I was like, hold on, no, I can't. He's like, here go a Grammy. You can sing, girl. And I'm like, oh snap, okay. So, but yeah, I have not had formal training. Even at Juilliard, I was there for theater. So
right,
the only singing we had was to teach us how to sing for an audition, like be well enough so you can make it through. You
can get the booking.
But
that's
yeah, we never.
Nuts.
Yeah, so all of it is taught, self-taught.
And what a testimony to what is for you, honey, is yours. Yes. It is yours. Like training and all that. Yeah, of course you've had it because you worked, but like for somebody to play Mahalia and be like, oh no, girl, I was just
singing. Yeah. So I had to just take the training, the vocal training I've got, like not necessarily singing training, but the vocal training, like to figure out where Mahalia's voice lives, because it is very different from mine. And I just took what I knew, like about phrasing, and what I knew, just like studying, because she's like Aretha too. She doesn't.
She has her own arrangements.
Girl. But the funny thing is, Jakina, my best friend, who's also in the film and plays Mildred, she was like, this is too much alike, because I'm the same way. Like, I will not sing a song the same way, or like, Mahalia's the type, she'll tell you she gonna start on one key and start on another. Right. And that is definitely a Danielle Brooks thing too. So it worked out.
Like, I get what she be doing. It's a thing that we got going on. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. That little 6-year-old Danielle singing "I Won't Complain."
Yes.
She had no idea.
No.
That was
get it now though.
Great. I had no idea.
Now. She gets it now.
She's aware. Yeah. I can't wait to see 6-year-old Freya out here giving it to us.
Oh my God. My baby girl.
giving us the vocals.
I wish you could get a little cameo, a little
She
free.
is the little chocolatiest drop. We love her, little Freya. You're
Thank you.
a whole mom, Danielle.
Yes, I am a whole mother, and it's been a long road. I've learned so
Honey,
much about myself and just life, and whew, you know.
back to Mahalia a little bit, because I loved getting to see just how stern and steadfast and like 10 toes down she was about singing her gospel.
Yes.
Only. You are not getting anything else out of me.
Yeah.
That is such a, like, that's a good quality. That's like, not everybody has that type of integrity.
Mm-hmm.
When is the last time you felt like you held on to something like that, or was so uncompromising about something you weren't willing to move on?
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
I feel like, I mean, I've had moments of that in Orange, where like they wanted me to like show my butt. Excuse me. That's that Mahalia checking me. Ooh.
It's like, what?
They want me to show my backside. Or, you know, be topless at one point, and I just made it very clear, if this doesn't serve anything, which it wasn't, I'm not gonna do it. And I didn't do it, and I'm very proud to have walked away, because you know there was a lot of nudity in that show. I'm so glad to have walked away without having exposed myself for no reason.
Right.
You know, so I'm proud of that. That's one moment I would say. Yeah, because Mahalia really did. She stood her ground. She was
like, no, I'm never gonna change my ideas of what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what.
And I take with me for sure. Take with me for sure. I think, I was talking to Erica Campbell, and she was saying that happened to her as well with music. Wanted her to sing secular music, and told her, you know, there would just be so much more money she would make. I think that's the cool thing about her, was that she still was successful. You know, she still broke barriers. She still made money. She still had multiple businesses. You know, she still accomplished a lot by staying true to what she stood for.
Exactly. And who's to say, I mean, I know record execs, they know what they're talking about and all that, but who's to say if she would have been like, okay, and it could have just flopped.
It could have flopped. And
it could have just not worked.
Danielle, there were so many people doing it. Like, what about being original? Like, she had the Bessie Smiths and the Ma Rainey's and the multiple other women singing jazz music, from the Sarah Vaughan's to the Ellas, like, but she had her own lane.
Right.
You know?
Her own lane, and stuck to it. That was a powerful lesson within that. If you, like, because you've played people, but playing someone who actually exists, like Mahalia, do you feel like that's more pressure involved, or is it like you have more to choose from that helps you become her?
More pressure, because you really do have the side by side, I think. And that's for me. Like, I feel like I love both. It was fun playing Mahalia. It was a lot of fun, like, having the material, like having to listen to radio clips and watching the YouTube and like getting to really see how she was swinging that wig, or it make, like, I could see, oh, she didn't wear earrings here, or she, you know, the details. Like, I love detailing.
Yeah.
But I think it's I feel like our Black community, dog, they gonna tell you what's up. So, and I'm thankful for that, you know.
They will.
I actually don't like people blowing smoke up my butt. I can't stand that, man. So, you know, it's been overwhelming just how much love I've received from this moment, and just how much people feel like we did her justice, and that's what I'm happy about. Like, people gonna let you know, and so I'm just grateful.
Yeah,
We did
people.
it.
Yeah, people gonna let you know. Black Twitter will be
You
okay.
know it's true, Danielle.
You'd be a meme tomorrow.
But I was ready for him, though.
I still think they need more time, because I'm still waiting on the meme from the wig of the performance where it was raining and she had the blue dress on. Those are gonna be some really good. Those are gonna be some really good memes. The wig, I was like, yo, the realness of wet wig. Whoever that person was doing that, the wigs, I was like,
Celestine, that's my girl. Tish does my hair for everything.
She went for it.
In my house right now.
Hey girl, you went for it with that. That wet wig took me all the way out. I cannot wait to see the memes come out of that. But speaking of the internet and everything getting a part of this, who would you actually put Miss Mahalia in a versus, a gospel takedown battle?
That is a really good question. But it would have to be somebody like now, because she was kind of in her own lane.
She was in her own lane for gospel.
You know, but if I had to choose somebody now, that's a good question.
Okay. Someone says Shirley.
Shirley's
a good choice.
Is a good one. I feel like the goats, though. The goats. Shirley's a goat. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But Yolanda's a goat.
Ooh, okay.
Yolanda Adams will be.
Someone say Yolanda.
Yolanda Adams will be goat, and even just give me the Mary girls, cause I tell you them like they got hits though. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had hits too. You know, she had all these different albums hitting, popping, pop.
She's giving you radio play, honey.
Yeah, but a lot of people saying Yolanda might be the one, and I kind of agree. I think Yolanda
is a good choice. I really was. Oh, Albertina Walker, you taking it all the way back. I love that. That's somebody's. I can smell the anointing oils from here.
That's a fun question. Yeah, I think that would be it.
I think that's a Clark sister.
I don't think that's a good versus though. Like, I mean, they have music, but not like, I feel like it should be an individual
Yolanda.
Or just Mary, because I just love it.
Yolanda and Mary. I would love that. What are you working on now, Danielle? What's going on?
Yes, girl. You know I'm blessed and highly favored. Thank you. So I am back in Vancouver where we shot Mahalia, shooting now Peacemaker with John Cena. And James Gunn has written it and directed it. And if you don't know who James Gunn is, he has done Suicide Squad. And he has done Guardians of the Galaxy and a plethora of other things.
You got to be out here.
So yeah, we're doing that for HBO Max. So I'm doing action TV show.
I was about to say, you said John Cena. Is this giving us action? Danielle.
Girl, you gotta put in the universe what you want, man.
Come on.
Real. You gotta put in the universe what you've been asking for. And it's crazy because I turned down this movie that was an action movie that I really, really, really wanted to be in, and it had great actors and a great female director, and I wanted it, and I got the job, and then I was pregnant, and 7 months pregnant, and they was like, we're not taking your pregnant butt nowhere.
Like, man.
And that hurt my feelings. I was so hurt. And so for an opportunity like this to come back around, you know, to work with, you know, high-level people and collaborators, and like that's really cool. So I'm happy to be up here doing something different. Like, and you should see me, Danielle. It's crazy because, girl, they got the green screens, and they got like we busted stuff open, and they got the fire with the smoke on the floor, and I'm like, oh, I'll go get your fire because this is close.
How cool is that, though?
But it's been crazy.
You said, girl, don't catch me on fire. That's so amazing. So you are really doing some expanding of your talents, of your skills.
Yes, ma'am. That's what it. That's what it should be, man. Like, I'm just glad I get the opportunity to, because when I tell you, when I came out of Juilliard, I I felt like sky's the limit, but at the time, yo, that sky wasn't nowhere to be seen. Okay.
Yeah, right. You wasn't sure. But
So
now it's like the possibilities are really open to be able to like do things that are really like you are acting.
yeah,
That's so exciting.
love, and that's a gift. A lot of people don't get to do that. A lot of
Mm-mm,
people. So
not at all. So I'm excited for you. Do you watch yourself back when you are in
I
things?
do. But that's the producer in me. Like, that's the wanting to see how things can be better, what works and what doesn't. It's not in a, oh, I got to see myself way. It's just, let me see what
Or
works.
even to criticize yourself?
Yeah, I feel like, but see, that's the thing about the producing is like, even with this, I gotta say, they were gracious enough. Lifetime was gracious enough to like really let me have a hand in this. Even the hysterectomy scene, that was because I said to them, we got to have this. Like, it's not in the script. We don't talk about, women going through thyroid problems and not being able to have a baby. We got to talk about this. So
Right.
that's the reason I do it, is because I want to see what works and doesn't. So even with the vocals, I was able to say, that ain't gonna work. Like, I was able
We're gonna have to run that back.
And thank God I did, because it turned out all right,
Nah, the vocals, she worked hard to give it to us.
That's why I like to watch for that reason.
I would, yeah, I don't know, I would cringe.
Really? You don't want yourself back?
I mean, I do in the space that I am now, but I feel like if I was starring in something, I would be like, oh,
well, I'm scared. You will be. You will be. Yeah.
Amen, Lord. Let me.
Do you want to do acting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have a theater degree. I have a theater and journalism degree, communication.
Yes, come on, girl.
So I was like,
that's good to know. You gotta put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Cause
I thought I was moving here to New York to be some like playwright, and then I would also like star in my stuff. But then, like the journalism was more so like it was not like a backup plan, but it was like just in case theater doesn't work out, but I still want to be a journalist because I was still trying to be both, like Khadijah / August Wilson, you know what I mean? And I was like, but journalism started taking up, and then just having to survive started taking up more of the like time and energy, and I went that route. But now it's come almost like, I don't want to say full circle, but it's just come back around to where on this show I'm able to package things and do skits and be funny and write all this stuff and act. So I'm like, it's happening.
You're doing all of it, and that's the fun part too. Is like you're designing this new lane. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to choose. You can do all of it. You can put it all together. You can separate them if you want to. That's really cool.
That's it. As long as I get to explore the things that I feel like I'm interested in, I have talent behind, I'm like, I'm fine with whatever it looks like. Yeah. Danielle!
Danielle!
Real with Danielle.